Slow.
Bro, I was making kids' dreams come true.
Hey everybody, we got very first special MC. We'll go ahead and open it for questions.
Sebastian, I guess for you, now you've had your third game coming off the bench. What have you been able to provide for this team now in this changed role, and how do you think you've had improvements?
I don't think there's any changed role. It's just, 30 minutes starting, 30 minutes coming off the bench, it's still the same 30 minutes. So, I don't think my role has changed. I just have to continue staying aggressive and rebounding like I did today, and just staying patient and just, playing my game. I don't think my role has changed in any way.
So, whenever you have had a low rebounding game, like the other night at Baylor, I know Tad's always kind of come out and challenge you, obviously be better on the glass. How much did that motivate you coming into this? Obviously, a career high 11 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, about time, huh? No, but yeah, Coach emphasizes rebounding, and even in the NBA, they look at how your ability to rebound in college, so it's important to put that into my game because, as I showed today, I'm more than capable, and I just got to stay consistent with it.
Was there a specific conversation that happened even during today's game? Because it seemed like in your first few minutes you gave up an offensive rebound and the coach seemed mad about that, and that kind of seemed to fuel you. Was there a conversation about rebounding specifically today?
With who?
With you, just after that first offensive rebound that then led you to this rebound?
No, when I had 4, Coach Manning came up to me and said, if you keep going, you might get 10. So I just kept going.
Compared to with the zone they were playing, it seemed like you and Isaiah were kind of able to penetrate and get some stuff in the mid-range and then in the paint. Just kind of, how big was that for you guys, offensively tonight? Kind of get some easy looks there.
It was really big. We kept on screening the zone, and then it allowed us to get downhill, and then we were just allowing the defense to make that decision for us if we were going to make the pull-up or kick it out to the guy in the corner. So, just great execution by us on that end.
Barrington, you were one of 4 true guards in the starting lineup today. What was your guys' chemistry like? What were you seeing out of these young guys alongside you?
Oh, yeah, just energy. When these guys come out here, they know that they just try to be a star in their roles, and when you look at that from young guys, that's a big thing that they can give you. So Josiah coming in and having what was that? That was 3 offensive rebounds. That was pretty huge. So just little things like that, doing dirty work. You got to appreciate them for that. So yeah, it's a good chemistry over here. Yeah, for sure.
Barrington, with your mid-range success, I know you're a Lakers fan. You obviously wear number 24. How much could you attribute that to Kobe Bryant?
I definitely do contribute some of it to Kobe. I watched a lot of it. I don't play out of the post fade like he does, but it's definitely a different way. But I love the mid-range area. So yeah.
Barrington, you came here and wanted to kind of change things and change how the team was perceived after last season. Obviously, you guys have already surpassed now last year's Big 12 win total. Just kind of what does that mean for the group? Still with 7 games left to go.
That's definitely it's progress. It's where we want to be, but we still got more work to do, and we're happy, but we're not satisfied. So we're going to stay hungry, and we're going to keep on trying to get better and get more wins in this tough conference.
Sebi, I know your mom and grandpa have been here for a couple weeks. I think tonight was the last game they were going to see. What's it mean for you that they saw your first career double-double, but also just to be able to see them for a couple weeks in the middle of the season like this?
It means everything. Back home, family means everything to us, and I love my mom and my grandfather so much, and just being here, my mom cooking for me every day has helped, our food, and just having them around, being able to talk my language, and just spend time with them is a blessing, and I wish they could stay longer, but they have a life back home too, so I'm just really grateful that they could come out.
Barrington, did it feel like a one-on-one at all with Mo Odom for a little bit in the second half when you guys were going back and forth?
Yeah, it definitely felt like we were trading some buckets there. He's a really good point guard. So it was a good duel. It was a good. It's always good going against some creative guards and guys that push you. So yeah.
Barrington, obviously the week ahead is going to be a tough one for you guys. Road games at Texas Tech and BYU. To get this win tonight, you kind of win 2 out of 3 this week, and you take care of business at home. What's it mean for you guys to get this one under your belt and maybe take a little momentum into this big trip?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, any win that you can take in the Big 12, you got to take it because it's a tough conference. So, going on the road and playing some really tough teams is going to be challenging, and we gotta hold down deep, and we gotta get to work in practice. So, yeah.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. God bless.
head coach Tad Boyle. Coach, we start with an opening statement. We'll open it for questions.
Yeah, look, that was a hard-fought win. It wasn't easy. I knew it wouldn't be. You know, we've been competing now against Arizona State for, I think, 15 years. You know, the 13 in the Pac-12, now our second year back in the Big 12 with them. And Coach Hurley's been there a lot. You know, it's funny, he mentioned something, I don't know how many, a few weeks ago, that he felt like he had lost his team and they'd stopped listening to him. And I thought that was an interesting statement. And I was, you know, from afar, you don't hear too many coaches, you know, admit that. And but they've responded to him, and he has not lost that team. And you know, a lot of people, they look at scores, they look at standings, and they make assumptions. But I watch a lot of film, and the one thing I do know about Arizona State is they have gotten a lot better since we played them in January, and he has not lost that team. And so people might say, well, you know, you should beat Arizona State at home. Well, guess what? It ain't easy. It's not easy in this league, and so I got a lot of respect for him. I got a lot of respect for, you know, how his players compete and always have. So, you know, with that being said, it's a win we should be proud of because it didn't come easy. And I thought the difference was rebounding. We're plus 12 on the glass. We held them to 40% for the game, which is amazing to me because I can't remember. I think it was the second media timeout of the first half or second half. We're shooting 65%, and we're up 3. Now, part of that was the play at the end of the first half that, you know, gave them free throws and the ball, and didn't, you know, they still retained the possession arrow. So that's on us. But, you know, we're up 3, and we hadn't extended that lead, and we're shooting 65% because we couldn't stop them. And I just felt like we had to score every time just to maintain, you know, a 3-point lead. So finally we strung some stops together and did a better job, you know, as the half went on. But beat a good team. I mean, Maurice Odom, he's a hell of a player. And Joe, the big kid, is a good player. So, yeah, we'll take that one and move on.
Sebi, obviously a tough night the other night without any rebounds at Baylor. What was your message to him, and did he respond? Obviously,
yeah, you know, Sebi's, I'm to the point with Sebi now where I don't have to say a whole lot. Sebi's aware. He's a smart guy. And that was the Sebi that we've been, you know, hoping and wishing for all year long. And I'm not talking about making threes, you know. I know he's a good shooter. You know, as long as he's taking good shots, I'm good with that. We want him to be aggressive and attack the rim, and he's a great free throw shooter, get to the free throw line. But it was his activity on the glass, his 11 rebounds that, you know, is the difference in his play tonight. And it's just his aggressiveness. And he's always been a guy that makes the right play. You know, he hasn't forced things. He hasn't been a high turnover guy for us this year. So he's a guy that can make plays for himself and his teammates. And I thought he did that tonight. I think Sebi's he's handled the challenges that we've thrown at him. But, you know, I didn't have to talk to him about his performance at Baylor. I think Sebi was smart enough to understand. And he wasn't the only one now, you know. So I don't ever want to single a guy out. You know, we win as a team, we lose as a team. But he knows, and we all know how good he can be. And tonight he showed it. And again, I'd like to use that as a catapult to, you know, bigger and better things for him. And because when he plays well, our team is much more competitive and he gives us a chance to win because he's 6'11" and he's really highly skilled and he's a good player. So now I was proud of him tonight for his response.
Coach, Josiah's physicality tonight, obviously
Yeah.
the 6 rebounds, but then of course like the football-like interception and
Yep.
half court of that
No.
pass. What does that say about his game, and how could that maybe inspire the guys around him?
I hope, I mean, Josiah inspires me, you know, the way he plays. That's why he's in the lineup. That's why he's playing, you know, as much as he's playing, is it because he's impacting the game. And it may not be from scoring points, and although he can score, it may be from defensive plays, rebounding, energy, toughness. And Josiah's game, his offensive game will evolve and will get better. Josiah's a good shooter. He made his two free throws tonight in the first half. Huge, that may seem like a little thing to you guys. It's not a little thing to me. He's a good free throw shooter. So I think he's developing more confidence, the more he plays, and he's getting more experience the more he plays. And he's a good player. And he can help us win games in a lot of different ways. And you're talking about a couple of plays, whether it's an interception, whether it's an offensive rebound. He brings energy and toughness to this team, and that's what we need.
Ben got into foul trouble a little bit,
Yep.
and then Taco got into a little bit in the second half as well. How are you guys still to win the rebound battle and score points?
Yeah, I thought our guards really did a good job of helping us rebound tonight. We competed on the glass because we were outsized there with a lot of our lineups, especially down the stretch when BD was in foul trouble. We had some really silly, what I call silly fouls, by our big guys. And we were trying to double team Odom when he came off ball screens because the guy can score, and he's a problem for them. So we said, okay, let's get the ball out of his hands and make somebody else beat us. But we fouled him like 4 or 5 times in our traps, and you're not supposed to get split in a trap. You're not supposed to foul in a trap, and we fouled like 4 or 5 times tonight. And we got to play smarter defensively. I thought we played with effort. We just got to play smarter now, and that's the evolution of a young team.
Down the stretch, I believe it was a 3-point game with about 4 minutes left. Just how encouraging is it for you to watch, a young team be able to finish out a game?
Well, look, the game down in Tempe was the same way. Like, you look at a 6-point win or whatever we won by tonight, but again, unless you were here and you saw, how hard ASU fights, and it wasn't a blowout, we took care of it at the end because we took care of the ball. We made free throws, but it's encouraging to win close games with a young team because it's not easy to win games in this league, home or road. It's just not. So kudos to our guys.
And obviously, you surpassed last year's Big 12 win total. I know you guys have bigger goals in mind, and that was kind of the expectation going into the season.
Yep.
Still 7 games left to go. Do you obviously getting a sweep over a team is a sign that you guys can do?
I hope so. Yeah. Now what we've got to do is take it on the road. Our only road win was at Arizona State, and again, that wasn't easy. Nothing's easy on the road in this league. It's not easy at home. But we've got to understand we got to play with more toughness and more energy and more togetherness when we're away from home, and we don't have the crowd here to energize us. So that's the challenge. And we guess what? We got 2 challenges in front of us this week in Lubbock and then in Provo against 2 really, really good teams. But all you can ask for in life's an opportunity. We got that, so let's go see what we got.
It seems like right now, kind of going back to Bang's foul trouble tonight, whoever you're turning to at that 5 spot is either getting into foul trouble or some of the reserves will come in and be ineffective. How challenging has that been to you to kind of see who's going to work on
It's a little bit of musical chairs right now, Pat, to be honest with you. Got 3 guys, and shoot, we played Sebi at the 5 a little bit down the stretch. I mean, he's not a 5-man, but so we got to figure that out. And some guys are practicing well, but they're not playing well in the games. So we need more consistency at that spot. There's no doubt about it. Or we just got to play smaller lineups.
It seemed like Arizona State was going to that zone, especially early, to try to take away drives from maybe Barrington and Isaiah. They seemed like they did a good job penetrating it and kind of getting shots in the mid-range, kind of in the paint, some of those push shots. Did you like kind of the adjustment those guys made kind of pretty quick in the game?
We talked about it at halftime, Tyler, about attacking that zone. And we knew they played against Utah. Wasn't sure, especially with Truitt back in the lineup, how much man or zone they were going to play. But, Bobby's always been a man-to-man coach. So I know that's what he really would like to do, but, being short on numbers and playing at altitude, I'm sure, I don't know what went into his thinking, but we were ready for zone, we were ready for man, and they tried to change it up to keep you off balance, and we didn't handle it in the beginning very well. I mean, first possession of the game, we didn't even know, we never got into his own offense in 30 seconds. It was like, what do you – so, But we got better as the game went on, and Barrington, we did a better job screening the zone, getting to that mid-range. You know, they've got a great rim protector in Jope in there because he's a legit dude. They only had 3 block shots on us tonight, so none in the second half. That's fantastic. I mean, they had 10 in Tempe, so and we worked on that in practice yesterday. So it's kind of encouraging when you work on something in practice and you come out the next night and you're effective in what you worked on. Gives you a little bit of hope as a coach. So.
You mentioned watching a lot of film, seeing how much better ASU's got since you guys played them last time. What does it say about your team that kind of you're making kind of similar adjustments and improvements from month to month and can able to beat the team twice?
And that's what the whole thing with me since I've been here, and it's hard to believe it's 16 years now, but like to make sure our team is playing better as the season progresses. Now, sometimes the schedule does not favor you, especially in this league. So, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, you can be improving without the wins coming. You know, that at Cincinnati, at West Virginia trip, like we weren't good enough to win those games, and we didn't deserve to, but you could see progress, and so the progress is coming. You know, I knew if Baylor played well with their talent, they can beat anybody in this league. I mean, they go to Iowa State and lose by a possession today, 3 points. So they're figuring it out. So your team better be getting better because other teams are getting better, and that's something that we've really prided ourselves on as a coaching staff, and I challenge our team to. You know, like it's not, this is the dog days of February. You know, I see their look on their face when they're in the film room before practice, and they're like, oh man, they're tired of practicing. But you know what? Practice is important. And we had a great practice before TCU and played well. We had an awful practice before Baylor and played like dog, you know what. And then had a great practice yesterday and came out and played with energy and toughness. So practice does matter. And our young guys need to understand that. Our old guys need to understand that.
Anything else?
Thank you. Coach, it's been a
Yep.
small sample size with Sebastian coming off the bench now, just his third game. But do you think that, although he's still playing the same amount of minutes, do you think it's created a spark for him?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's not about who starts. It's not about who comes off the bench. It's how do the starters play and how do the guys come off the bench play. And, if you play better, you're going to play more. It's a pretty simple deal. You don't play well, you're going to play less. And that's just decisions we have to make as coaches. And sometimes you have to do it on the fly. Sometimes you got to do it night to night. But tomorrow's a new day. Wednesday's a new game. Monday's a new practice. That's just part of it. Thank you. Yep.